Disney's Snow White has called the prince a stalker. And we're going to talk about that today, both in terms of the criminal definition and what this means more broadly when we're talking about people making these accusations, these comments, and noting really specifically that when you're calling someone these crimes and you're making these accusations and depictions of older media, you're sending a broader message. So we're going to get right into that. Of course, I am Andrew Esquire, a Florida attorney, and this is a legal mindset we teach you to be your own judge. So obviously we've been covering this Snow White debacle for a little bit. Like, I think it's been a month or so, and this is actually my second attempt to record this video because my first video, which showed the actual recording the interview of Rachel Zegler, who's playing the new Snow White, received a copyright strike from the WB. So we're actually going to do this live here with you guys, and I'm going to read you her words. So I'm going to spare you really and really save you from her voice. But mind you, it's 100% quoting her and what she said. So let's jump right into what she said and we'll react to that. So she was interviewed, and this is an interview where she was talking about a lot of different things. She was talking about, I guess, the new Hunger Games and other things, but she was also talking about the new Snow White. And this specifically is what she said in this video, and I'm going to enlarge this here. She said, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and it is very evident. There is a great emphasis in her love story with the guy who literally stalks her. Okay, so she puts emphasis there. She goes, who literally stalks her. So, you know, I know that people overuse that word, but when you say someone literally stalks someone, you are accusing them of a crime, because stalking is a crime. By the way, if this person was real, if the prince was a real person, this would be defamation. And by the way, this is how a lot of Me Too stuff starts, because they say stuff like this in social media. They often don't file charges, which is weird. It's almost as if they know they won't fit the actual real, literal definition of stalking. They just want to make any guy who expresses interest in a girl, yeah, that's a stalker, that's a creep, that's a weirdo. And you wonder why people aren't matching their, single people, whether it's men and women, why, dates are hard to come by in the future. It's because, present and the future, it's because people like Rachel Zegler call any expressing of emotion or whatever else as stalking. But anyway, she says, weird. So we didn't have to do that this time. The actor was hired for the film, Andrew Burnip. He's a great guy. All of his scenes could be deleted. Who knows? She didn't say he's Hollywood. She said it's Hollywood, baby. So generally, that's where it went with her comments. So she expressed a disdain for the original, clearly, and I almost appreciated her honesty. Rachel Zegler clearly hates the original Snow White. In fact, she hates everything old. It's clear she believes that anything that's from a decade, 2 decades, much less, 70 years ago, 80 years ago, yeah, that's definitely wrong. That's from a horrible period of time. And because of that, it's evil, it's horrible, and needs to be updated. Everything old must be fixed. This is the pure hubris, particularly of people with her mindset, which seem to have taken over the Disney Corporation. People with her mindset that need to believe that everything in America, before they came along and enlightened us, everything was evil and horrible and nasty and disgusting and was wrong and we should be ashamed of it. These type of people have taken over the hen house. This is the mentality that pervades Disney. They hate the past, they hate America, they hate culture, and they even hate Disney. And at least she was honest enough to say she hates it. She does not like the original. She thinks it's weird, it's creepy, and she thinks the prince is a criminal. She thinks the prince should be locked up. And to be very clear, the definition of stalking is inducing reasonable fear of death or injury. Nothing in that original video comes close to that. Now, guys, in the comments, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Do you think the prince was a stalker? Do you think he committed the crime of stalking? Let me know. By the way, if you like these type of videos, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on it. But these comments are exactly the problem generationally we have now, particularly with, look, my own generation, millennials and Gen Z. we oftentimes will just say things. People will go out and say things, particularly those of a certain persuasion, will go out there and say, oh, you're a criminal, you're a stalker, you're a harasser, you're a grapist, you know, whatever else. You need to be very careful with your words, because number one, you could be committing defamation, and number two, these things simply are factually not true. This is a case of a love story, and I'm sorry that love stories may not be cool anymore. They may not be hip with the youngsters in her, you know, crazy striking circles over there in Hollywood, but many people still do enjoy love stories, and many people are out there looking for a prince. But when they look around and all the princes are in jail because they're locked up by people like Rachel Zegler, this is exactly what we have to thank them for. Guys, I hope you liked this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.